Welcome to ADDcast. I'm Systems Multimedia Specialist Brian Cohen. Today we're once again talking about the 2023 Business Tech Conference, which is officially less than 6 months away. The 2023 BTC will be held May 8th through May 12th, 2023 at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club in Orlando, Florida. And while we know you're excited to hear about our product announcements, valuable partner sessions, networking opportunities, and incredible evening events, we also know a lot of you have some family time at the theme parks on your mind. Don't tell anyone, but I'm right there with you. And because the BTC and Disney go hand in hand, I'd like to point out that Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration is continuing through March 31st, 2023, which is 1 month removed from Systems' 50th anniversary, which we'll be celebrating at the upcoming BTC. Now that that's out of the way, let's get down to business. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Manion and Raevon Redding, the 2022-2023 Walt Disney World Ambassador Team at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Ali and Raevon, thank you both so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you so much for having us on. We are so excited to be here with you today.
This is great. Can't wait to share more.
Well, Ali and Raevon, you are both boss level when it comes to knowing the ins and outs of Walt Disney World. So I'm so excited to talk some Disney planning with you both. Now, even though we're 6 months away from the BTC, first-time visitors might not realize just how far a little pre-park planning can go when you're visiting Walt Disney World. But before we get into the actual parks themselves, let's get settled in at the resort. As I mentioned earlier, this year's BTC takes place at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club. Can you start by talking about some of the amazing amenities that the venue has to offer?
Disney's Yacht and Beach Club is absolutely amazing. I think Ali and I both can agree upon this, that it is one of our favorite resorts to visit just because of how, one, beautiful it is, and just how convenient it is to so many great things for our guests. I mean, you could walk over to Epcot, you have the boardwalk, and you have the beach club all right there with different amenities for everyone to enjoy.
And not only that, our incredible cast members at the resort do an excellent job of providing some incredible recreation and children's activities, everything from movies on the beach to some fun poolside trivia. They will have a lot in store right there at the resort for you all.
Now, along with those amenities, can you talk about some of the dining options that attendees have footsteps from their rooms?
Yeah, that's so true. So one of my favorite places to visit, and I was just there not too long ago, is Ale and Compass, which is just down in the lobby.
Oh, we love Ale and Compass.
Love Ale and Compass. It's a great place to go for a nice breakfast or a dinner. And for our adults who are listening and just want some alone time with their significant other, Yachtsman is just right around the corner from Ale and Compass, which is an elevated dining experience, which is really nice. Awesome, high grade level steaks. The wine selection is great. And I think it's just one of those places where you can't believe that you're eating at fine dining right in your resort, just downstairs or right around the corner from your bedroom.
Now, on the opening night of the BTC, we'll be having a welcome reception at Shipwreck Beach. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about that section of the resort?
Well, it is one of the coolest pools, I think, of any Walt Disney World resort that we have here, with a big slide. You truly feel like you are sitting there at the beach, enjoying a wonderful time with everyone. It's really, really great.
I think what's really cool about that, Ali and I got some time at Yacht and Beach Club, and at that pool in particular, they have a lazy river that goes around, and I mean, it's integrated with the water, so you never know that it's an actual lazy river, but once you get your pool floaty in the pool, and you can just coast and relax while, the others are in their beach type of area, you're just in the lazy river having a great time. It's really, really awesome.
Very relaxing, a nice change of pace from all of the fun that I know you all will be having in the parks too. Time to just relax and enjoy the lazy river.
Now, the Yacht and Beach Club is situated right on one of my personal favorite areas of Walt Disney World, which is Disney's Boardwalk. For me personally, it doesn't get any better than the dueling pianos at Jelly Rolls, but maybe you guys could share with our listeners some of your must-see destinations on the boardwalk itself.
They have to go to Beaches and Cream. Beaches and Cream is the ice cream shop that is right there on the boardwalk, and you're going to have to try the iconic kitchen sink. And quite literally, it is a kitchen sink with all of these different scoops of ice creams, and it's an ice cream sundae that is only for those who are young at heart, really, because it's the young at heart who have dreamt about having all these ice creams and toppings on this one tray. And This tray just so happens to be a kitchen sink. And so it's greatly themed. And I think that's my number one recommendation, beaches and creams.
And what I love about the boardwalk is you have these incredible restaurants, you have jelly rolls, you have the pizza window, you have all of these really cool experience. And for me, it's just fun to walk around that area at night and just take in the sights and sounds. You might see a street performer or a carnival game going on at the same time, and it really takes you back to that feel of being on the boardwalk. And it's a really, really nice place that you all have so conveniently there right by Yacht and Beach Club.
Well, now that we're all settled into our rooms, let's move over to the theme parks. As I'm sure you're both aware, all families run at their own paces, and some families like to mix things up throughout each day of their trip, which makes a park hopper pass a very enticing option. What are some ways you'd recommend best utilizing a park hopper pass during your stay at the parks?
Well, I would say, first and foremost, as we transition into the parks, the number one thing all of the listeners should take a second to download would be the My Disney Experience app. It'll be a common theme and a reoccurring topic that Allie and I will talk about throughout this podcast. The My Disney Experience app, it will have everything right there at your fingertips. Now, a park hopper option is probably going to be the best option for anyone to get because of the flexibility. You may have someone who wants to visit all of our princesses, or someone who's more so into Star Wars, or someone who simply just wants to take a ride on the safari. Having the park hopper option will really give them the flexibility to do all of those things, whether in one day or over the course of multiple days.
And the Disney Genie feature in the My Disney Experience app gives our guests the opportunity to really put in those particular preferences that they have. So you can specify if you would like to go on thrill attractions or roller coasters, or if you're more into the character greetings, what characters you like to meet, so that it will help you really plan out your day and the most optimal times to visit those must-sees for your family. It caters it just to you.
Excellent. So now that we've got our park hopper passes and we're in the parks, let's talk about food. It probably doesn't help that we're recording this episode at lunchtime, but food is on my mind right now. So
Mine too.
Always. Always. It doesn't even have to be lunchtime.
yeah, there you go. What are some tips you both would offer attendees to make sure they're able to dine at their favorite venues?
Oh, well, I mean, really utilizing the My Disney Experience app. And I'm going to keep bringing that up because there are so many great options around property. And with the app, you're able to look at the menu and see before you even get to the restaurant if that's something that you want to enjoy. But I will say one of my personal favorite things about coming to the parks are all of the snack options. I mean, you can go a full day and have just only eaten snacks throughout the park and not even realize that you can have a solid meal because there are so many great options and choices, whether you're at the resort or you're in one of our theme parks.
I will say too, for our guests who I'm all about the snacks. And I have to have a snack in addition to having my delicious lunch or dinner or breakfast too. We have some incredible breakfast offerings. But guests are able to make reservations on that My Disney Experience app. And reservations are recommended for our guests as well, that they can do so 60 days before their visit. You can go onto that app and make those reservations. And as Raevon mentioned, you can look at the menu, kind of get a feel for if it's the right restaurant for you. And also, even further, a number of our quick service locations, if you're looking for something to grab on the go, besides a snack, of course, Mickey Premium Bar, you can also use the mobile order feature that is on the My Disney Experience app.
Now, Ryan, I have to mention, Allie just said Mickey Cricket Bar.
I sparked it.
There's a kind of a competition going on between her and I. There are iconic Disney snacks that you get when you come to the parks. Either ice cream premium bar or ice cream premium sandwich, the Mickey pretzel, the churro. There's a lot of great options. Now, for our listeners that are listening, I personally feel like the ice cream premium sandwich is superior to the ice cream bar, but you all are going to have to let us know. When
I'm
you
a
all
Mickey
visit.
Premium Bar girl. So, yes, let us know what you think. So, nothing against the sandwich. It is delicious. I just love that Mickey Premium Bar.
Well, with so many options to choose from, some of our attendees might even feel a little bit overwhelmed at where to even begin. So I'd like to ask, do each of you have a go-to destination that's your personal favorite to dine at if you had your choice of any place amongst all the parks?
That is such a difficult question.
Yes, very difficult.
I mean, we have 4 parks and 31 resorts. We have a shopping complex, Disney Spring. We have 2 water parks, and all of those places have great food and beverage options. I will say, but it really depends on the mood that I'm in and the time of day. So if I had to pick for like a dining experience, I think Allie and I can both agree California Grill at the Contemporary Resort for a dinner is
It is
probably
our
always going to
favorite.
be our favorite. It's going to
Yes.
be our go-to, something that we will always love. But if you are with your family and you need something quick or just something that's really nice, even for dinner, I would suggest looking up Ohana. Ohana is a really great family style restaurant in the Polynesia Resort. So it is on the Magic Kingdom Resort monorail line. And if you go in the evening time around fireworks, you'll be able to see the fireworks from the dining location or the dining room. But they have great breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. And it's all family style. And so it's a great way for you to enjoy multiple meats and proteins, veggies. The bread is absolutely amazing. And it is just a really great experience that immerses you, which is what Disney's all about is storytelling and the immersion, making sure that you live out this fantasy. So Ohana is going to be my option for those looking for something that's nice, quick, but also easy that's around the parks.
I have to agree with Raevon with California Grill. It is incredible. It's a wonderful dining experience. You can get delicious steak, delicious sushi. It is just wonderful. And what's really special about it too is if you happen to dine around fireworks time at the Magic Kingdom, you will get one of the most incredible view, I think the best view of the Magic Kingdom fireworks show from the Contemporary Resort at the top with this gorgeous view of the castle. And so it is definitely a must do for me there.
And we mentioned, Brian, that these are, 2 dining locations. If you're in the parks and you're like, well, I need something really quick. If you're listening, you're like, where do I go if I'm in, one of our theme parks? I think Allie and I both agree. Satuli Canteen over at Disney Animal Kingdom theme park is superb. It is absolutely amazing. It's a quick service option. So if you are in Disney Animal Kingdom theme park and you're making your way over into the land of Pandora, I think that is a great choice. Satuli Canteen is 10 out of 10 would recommend.
And I have one more recommendation just because it came to mind. Character dining is an incredible experience for the whole family, but especially fun for the kids. And my favorite place for character dining is Topolino's Terrace at Disney Riviera Resort. Another rooftop restaurant. The sour cream waffles are delightful and so delicious. And you'll get to meet Mickey and Minnie and friends along the way too. So character dining is another thing to add to the list, especially if you have those guests in your family that are eager to meet Mickey Mouse.
So when we're looking for food in the parks, does timing actually matter? Meaning, would visiting your favorite restaurants outside of the normal lunch or dinner hours help you in any way?
Timing, honestly, is everything on your vacation, one would think. We have to get everything done in a particular way and in a timely manner. But utilizing the My Disney Experience app, as we mentioned before, will be the best way to track when the best time is to go to certain restaurants. If you were mobile ordering, it'll give you certain time slots. So let's say you were really wanting to visit a character or get on an attraction. While you're waiting in line, you can write in the palm of your hands, order your entire meal, pay for it during a specific time slot. So let's say you're waiting on Pirates of the Caribbean and you want to eat at Tomorrowland. You can look for the time frame. Let's say it's about noon. And you're like, yeah, it's lunchtime. And we have about 25 more minutes left in this attraction. On the My Disney Experience app, it'll give you time slots in order to reserve when you can go and pick up your food. So you can select that time slot while you're in the queue. You can get on the attraction. And by the time you leave the attraction and walk over, your time slot is up and you can press I'm here and prepare my meal, and your meal will be as fresh as ever. And you don't have to worry about waiting in the queue while you're in the restaurant.
What advice would you give someone who's maybe concerned about food allergies or cross contamination when it comes to dining in the parks?
Our dining teams and our chefs are incredible and very accommodating when it comes to dietary needs and specific items like that. If you have any sort of dietary needs, our chefs will come to the table. They will make sure you are taken care of. They will ask you specific questions and give you the best recommendations for what's on the menu. And even a lot of times in our quick service locations, at our festivals at Epcot, there are a number of gluten friendly, vegetarian and vegan options that are there as well that are all quite tasty and delicious for everyone to enjoy.
So moving on from food now that I'm extremely hungry at this point.
No, let's keep talking about
Yes,
food.
we'll talk about food all day. It's our favorite.
For the families who want to meet their favorite characters, let's say they chose a restaurant that doesn't have character dining. What are your recommendations for getting the most, I'd say, literal FaceTime with Mickey, Donald, or let's say one of the many Disney princesses?
Yeah, so at the Magic Kingdom, there are many options and ways for you to see and interact with characters. But one of the most iconic ways that you can do it is during the parade time. So the parade route starts over by Splash Mountain and works its way all the way down Main Street, USA. And so our guests will have an opportunity to see Mickey and all of his Fantasyland friends and Disney's Festival of Fantasy. And that is a really great option to get as many characters in one spot versus having to spread around and go through all four of our theme parks or the resorts. So watching our parades and shows will be an awesome way for you to interact with our characters.
I think another great place to spot characters is at Epcot, especially if you have fans of all of our princesses. As you're walking around the World Showcase, you may encounter Belle in France or, say, Snow White in Germany. So you really never know who's going to pop up. But that's another great way and a different experience for seeing the characters.
Now, this wouldn't be a Walt Disney tips and tricks episode without discussing the amazing rides and attractions. So let's say you're someone who, I don't know, hypothetically was a huge Star Wars fan, and you wanted to make sure that maybe Rise of the Resistance or Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run was checked off the old bucket list nice and early on the trip. What tips would you offer me, I mean attendees, for rides like this?
I think we only have a couple Star Wars fans, so I don't think that'll be an issue for you. But our tips and tricks would one, check the My Disney Experience app. There are a few attractions that we have on property that don't have a standard queue that you could just join. You actually have to join virtually, and then you will get called to join the queue. So one, utilizing the My Disney Experience app to see if the attraction you want to get on falls underneath, that category. And two, if I'm sure many of us know, the early bird gets the worm. Waking up bright and early to book the lightning lane options that we have on the My Disney Experience app to see if that is available for your enjoyment. So using the Genie and the Genie Plus will let you know the best options or probability of you getting on that attraction on that particular day. But for, the few Star Wars fans, if you will, that are out there that really want to know, how do I get on? What do I do? A lot of our guests are really getting up early, getting to those parks and signing on to the My Disney Experience app and joining those queues.
Another thing to take advantage of is those early morning hour offerings for our Disney Resort guests. So you all being at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club Resort, you're going to be able to enter the parks a half hour before other guests coming into the parks. So if you can get in and get in that time, that would be the first place I would head at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is what you are looking for.
Raevon, earlier you mentioned Genie Plus as well as lightning lanes. Can you maybe explain a little bit more about what that entails and how people can utilize those throughout their stay?
Yes, I think they are really great options, especially for the pre-planning experience that we are hoping you all will take advantage of. Back in the day, you used to call a vacation planner to go through, your vacation plans, the restaurants that you want to go to and the attractions you want to see, and they would kind of put that together. Well, now you have the power to do that. On the My Disney Experience app, as soon as you log on and create an account and add your family in, immediately you'll see, our friend Genie pop up and it will take you through step by step all of the things that you could think of: attractions, food and beverage, characters, time of day, the age range that are in your parties. And that tool would literally put together a rough itinerary and a plan for you that's best suited for you and your family. And so on there are certain options that are premium options, such as the lightning lane, as I mentioned. And the lightning lane will be very similar to our former fast pass, but with that added cost, utilizing the lightning lane will get you to bypass the longer waits for some of those attractions, such as Soarin', or living with the land over at Epcot, instead of waiting in the queue, you might pay an extra fee in order to just bypass that to get that attraction checked off of your list. So using the My Disney Experience tool in general is going to be helpful, but then utilizing the Genie and Genie Plus options will definitely set you and your family up for success.
So if you're a family who has children of different ages and tastes, I guess if your son wants to go to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and your daughter wants to go on Toy Story Slinky Dog Dash, is this what you would recommend? So that way parents don't feel like they're in between a rock and a hard place with where to go first?
100%. And it brings us back to the beginning where we talked about the flexibility of having the park hopper option, because Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is an awesome attraction, and everyone should get to enjoy that,
Amazing.
is over at Epcot, and Sleepy Dog is over at Disney Hollywood Studios. So you already have the flexibility with the park hopper, so that's check. But using Genie and Genie Plus and the Lightning Lane will tell you the best times to get on Sleepy Dog Dash and be between this time and this time. So that way, then you can say, great, let's head to Epcot first. Let's enjoy our time, because we know that if we want to get on Sleepy Dog, this is going to be the best time for us to go and enjoy that attraction. And it's right there in the My Disney Experience app.
And when you're at Epcot, you can take our boat transportation from Epcot via the boardwalk and your resort area to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Or you can take the Skyliner.
Well, Allie, let's stick with you for this next one. One of the attractions BTC attendees will be able to check off their Disney bucket list is Pandora, the World of Avatar, as that will be one of our evening events during the conference. Can you tell our listeners a little bit more about what they can look forward to experiencing in Pandora?
Absolutely. And Pandora, the World of Avatar, holds a special place in my heart because I was able to work there before taking on the role of ambassador. It is an incredible, immersive land, immersing you into the world of Pandora, the moon of Pandora, taking you light years away from Earth, 4.4 light years away, to this gorgeous space. And you mentioned you're visiting in the evening, and Pandora comes to life with gorgeous bioluminescence at night. But the must-do attractions are Navi River Journey, which is our boat attraction taking you through Pandora, and Avatar Flight of Passage, which is just an incredible experience. You are on the back of a Banshee flying through Pandora, and it is a must-see when you experience the land there. Just incredible. So I'm excited that you all have some time to explore Pandora, soak up the sights and the sounds, and you truly feel like you are off planet in another world. It's incredible.
So for those who maybe aren't ride fanatics, can you talk about some of the other entertainment offerings in the park? Because for me personally, it doesn't really get any better than Muppet Vision 3D or Mickey's PhilharMagic.
There is something for everyone. And I think that was part of the reason why Walt came up with this genius idea of Disneyland and, now Walt Disney World, where you all be visiting, is for the parents and the young at heart could all enjoy this great place. And so there are a lot of different options on the My Disney Experience app. They will tell you all those options, but just to give you a few, as you mentioned, PhilharMagic is really, really great for everyone to enjoy, the 3D optics. And with some of the new scenes that they just updated, it is absolutely beautiful. So I highly recommend that's at the Magic Kingdom. But for those who simply just want to enjoy and take in the parks, I think one of my personal favorites would be at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So we're heading back to Animal Kingdom because there's so much land there and so many great animals and different trails that you would be able to explore and visit without even having to sit down or buckle in. You can use your 2 feet and walk around, whether you're in Asia or you're in Africa or just in front of the Tree of Life. In front of the Tree of Life itself, there is a walkthrough exhibit that you can go through to see the different animals, to enjoy and learn about them. And sometimes you'll see some of the animal keepers that are there and they can share more fun facts about the different animals that we have here in our cure at Walt Disney World. So there are options for everyone. Just know if you head over to Disney's Hollywood Studios with Muppet Vision 3D, that is also great. But I think just being in, if you're Star Wars fans, going to Launch Bay, in that area, there's a walkthrough, there's a cinematic film, short that you can experience. But then if you have young kids, Disney Junior is there. So they do a Disney Junior dance party and they have a DJ. And over by Rock and Roller Coaster, there's Cars. And so you can sit and watch, our friends from the Cars franchise take you through Radiator Springs. So there are options. all in the My Disney Experience app, but also you might stumble upon something because I think that's what's so great. And Allie and I think can agree. We're so big and there's so many different things at different corners that you're like, oh, I didn't know that was here or that's here. I saw that on YouTube or Instagram or somewhere. You just stumble upon it. And I think that's what's so great about our parks.
One of the places that we haven't talked about is Disney Springs, which is our shopping and dining destination too. So we have our 4 theme parks that you will have a fabulous time in. I know for me personally, my family, when we would come on our Disney vacations or when my family comes to visit, usually that first day when we're settling into the hotel, we will go to Disney Springs that evening for shopping. We have the World of Disney store, which is one of our largest merchandise locations where you can get all of that incredible Disney merchandise. And it is a great place just to walk around, shop, enjoy time with your family, enjoy some incredible restaurants, some great food, and just a more relaxed way to kind of ease yourself into that Disney vacation. But it's fun for everyone, fun for the whole family. So be sure to add that to your list of a very busy vacation you all will be having to make sure you hit all of these amazing places Raevon and I are talking about.
Very much so. And we're going to add another one to that list because on the last night of the BTC, we're hosting an evening luau at Typhoon Lagoon. Can you tell our
Ooh.
listeners a little bit more about what Typhoon Lagoon has to offer?
Oh my goodness, there is so much at Typhoon Lagoon. We are incredibly blessed to have so much space here in Central Florida to have 2 water parks, that are, very close in proximity to each other. But Typhoon Lagoon is actually right across the street from Disney Springs, as Allie just mentioned. And you're going to discover a shipwreck and all of the things that come with being stuck in a typhoon, if you will, but in the best Disney way possible, with the storytelling and with the slides and with the kids area and then the wave pool. I mean, it has one of the biggest wave pools that we have. And it's just so much fun. One of my biggest recommendations when going, find a nice area to place all your things, on the beach and enjoy the wave pool because it is going to feel like you are on one of the coasts here in Florida, either the West or the East Coast, but you're on Disney. You're going to hear the magic of Disney music that is themed to Typhoon so nicely. And it's just so cool. But I think Alice's favorite is the lazy river. Am I correct?
You did in the best way possible. I promise I'm not lazy, but I do enjoy relaxing from time to time. And while Raevon is enjoying the wave pool and surfing the waves, I am most certainly, you will find me in a tube in the lazy river, just enjoying myself. It is one of the longest lazy rivers. It is so nice. It's great just to go around. And there are some fun surprises and splishes and splashes along the way, too.
Excellent. So we all have the My Disney Experience app downloaded on our phones. We're using it to navigate the parks. And I am sure somebody's question is going to be, what happens if my phone starts to get down to 5 and 10%? What do we do when we're in the parks? Help us.
Well, we have everything that you might need in this small little case called fuel rods. So around our parks, you will see little charging stations, if you will. And before your phone dies, look up fuel rod and it'll put you on the max, there. And so this fuel rod, it's a one-time fee that you would pay, and it's a battery pack that'll come with all different adapters for Androids, for iPhones, whatever you might need. It'll come with 3 different adapters for those devices, USB-C, regular USB, and you can charge your phone utilizing that. When the fuel rod begins to die or needs to recharge, you can take it back either to your resort or to one of those locations that you find in the park. And for free, press swap on the screen and you will put in your old fuel rod battery pack and you will get a fully charged new one. And so those are really, really great options for our guests that are worried about utilizing their phones. And we wanted to make sure that we had those options available. You can also find fuel rod in the airports as well. So if you wanted to get a fuel rod before you came into the parks, you can purchase one there and just use the free refills while you're here at the parks. I believe it's a $5 charge to refill it in the airports. So if you do purchase one at the airport and just refill. And that is something that you can have and charge back at home. Or when you come to visit us again, just keep swapping it out for a brand new battery pack.
And I have to give a shout out to Raevon as my fellow ambassador, but as a former guest relations, guest experience team cast member, because as you're going throughout the park, if you have questions about the app, if you have questions about anything, look for a blue umbrella that says guest experience team. And a fabulous cast member like Raevon will be there to assist and will help you with any questions that you can have. They can assist you with looking up dining reservation availability, lightning lane, answer all of your questions. They have maps, they have celebration buttons, they have everything you will need right at those blue umbrellas. And like I said, I have to brag on my partner because he was a part of that opening team and really made it as successful as it is today. And those cast members are just incredible and willing to help.
Fantastic. Now, earlier, I asked each of you, which I thought was a pretty tough question about your favorite dining throughout the park. But before we wrap things up, I've saved the toughest question of them all. And with so many attractions to choose from, what is the first item on each of your personal Walt Disney World bucket lists when you enter the park as a visitor? Allie, we'll start with you.
I have to say, because it is our newest attraction, we mentioned it before, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is quite literally out of this world. It is the coolest roller coasters unlike anything you have ever experienced. It's a part of our first Otherworld showcase in the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion at Epcot, and it has got some great music and tunes for you just to enjoy the ride and save the galaxy along the way. Hands down, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It's my favorite.
Raevon?
That's so hard. Why are you
It really
doing
is.
this to us?
I need different categories. I need like a nostalgia favorite attraction, a favorite roller coaster, a favorite show. I gotta have categories.
That is very difficult. Epcot is my favorite park personally. And so I would always choose to go to that park because of everything that it has to offer and will continue to offer as it undergoes this multi-year transformation. Guardians is so good. Gosh, it's amazing. And we can't emphasize that enough. But I will say, I'm going to go out the norm. The number one, like, must do, and it's a little cheesy, will be Living with the Land over in Epcot. It is a classic for me. It's in AC. I love learning how the company and how the parks utilize so many of its resources right there in-house. A lot of the food that they produce is used over, I think before, the closures at 32 different restaurants, and they're, upping those numbers. But going in and learning how I can be better, in my personal life and learning how the company does, it's a constant reminder for me that this is a really cool place. And what Walt Disney World is doing is absolutely amazing. So I love Guardians. And I'm so mad I'm not saying this right now, but Living at the Land is what I'm going to recommend. And I have to say that I will get on that any day of the week at any time.
Well, Allie and Raevon, thank you both so much for taking the time to speak with me today. And I am sure I, as well as other attendees at the BTC, look forward to meeting you next May.
We can't wait. Thank you so much. We look forward to meeting you all, seeing you, and hearing about who wants a Mickey Premium Bar or Mickey Ice Cream Sandwich more.
Can't wait to hear that one. That is going to be so much fun. Yes, thank you so much for having us, Brian.
To learn more about the BTC and to register, please visit addsys.com/BTC. That's ADDsys.com/BTC. And to keep up with the latest happenings at Ad Systems, visit addsys.com/blog or connect with us on social media by following Ad Systems on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. If you have any questions about ADDcast, feel free to reach out to us at addcast@addsys.com. Thanks for listening and have a great day.